was at my uni residence and it was around 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was just at home on my computer and I just decided to Google image reverse myself.
Noelle Martin uploaded her photo to Google out of curiosity to find out where her image appeared on the internet. She couldn't believe what she discovered.
I found my photos plastered over dozens of porn sites. Sex.com, Xhamster, Come on Printed Pics, Motherless. It was like my heart and my stomach sank to the ground. And I felt sick, like disgustingly sick.
Noelle Martin is a victim of what's called parasite porn. Images from her Facebook account were stolen and posted on porn sites.
They were saying things like, cover her face and we'd her body. I was called trash, a slut. Yeah.
And you were how old?
I found out about this, I think 18, 19. Yeah, so I just come from Perth, moved to Sydney, studying here all by myself, and then I discovered that this was happening.
All her personal information was posted, where she studied, her interests, even where she lived. As she searched further, she found even more confronting images. Her face had been morphed onto graphic pornography.
That's my face from a nightclub in Perth. They've literally cropped it. Like, I have the same makeup, the same expression, and they've cropped that onto some girl who's got a body similar, but is literally naked with that pose. And that's just an ordinary picture of me. I think I was 19 at the time. I was 19 on an ordinary night out in Perth. And to go from that to this without my consent, and that's got to be showing up on Google searches. The way to do it is you have to try and get this king.
It's a world away from Noelle's everyday life. The final year law student is a former chess champion with no experience of the dark side of cyber porn. With nowhere else to turn, she went to the police.
All the police officer said was just to make sure my privacy settings were on private, and that I should communicate with the webmasters myself. And essentially there was nothing that they could do. I was scared doing that, and I really didn't want to do that, but I had no choice.
One website administrator she contacted made an extraordinary demand.
They said, I'll delete it, but you have to send me a photo of your boobs to get the photos down.
What's going through your mind as you're reading that?
Like, he's a bastard. And, I mean, how dare he think that he can control me and manipulate me and blackmail me? You're like trying to take and steal my identity and then use it against me. They really feel like they're just controlling girls because they can ruin a girl's life by this. They literally can ruin a girl's life by what they're doing.
Some of those sites are off sites, they're overseas, they're not in the jurisdiction that the legislation covers. So it's really hard to try and prove where the hosting company is and what power do you have over that company if it is based in an overseas jurisdiction.
Pornography forums are filled with images stolen from personal social media pages. In an increasing number of cases, those images are being used to extort younger victims. The Children's E-Safety Commissioner has seen a sharp spike in the number of these sorts of complaints in the last few months.
Now, this could be a doctored image, or it could be an image that they had shared with somebody they trusted at an earlier time. But what they're finding is those images are being used, if you like, to blackmail them to provide more images. And this can be done in quite an unpleasant and very stressful and targeted way.
The eSafety Commissioner has the power to take down Australian websites containing images of people under 18. But there's not much she can do if the websites are hosted overseas. Australian lawmakers are doing what they can, introducing new laws to tackle revenge porn, though every state is doing it differently and there's no uniform definition. The counsellors who deal with its victims believe the laws must be broad enough to include doctored images.
Look, I think revenge porn is probably a misnomer because it implies that it's about revenge and it's about pornography, and quite often it's not about that at all. So we prefer the term image-based sexual abuse or image-based sexual exploitation.
The New South Wales government is taking submissions on new revenge porn laws which are due to be put to Parliament next year. With Noelle's permission, 730 shared her story with the state's top lawmaker. What's your initial reaction when you see something like that?
I can only imagine the emotional impact that would have on a young woman like that. You know, as a mother of a teenage daughter, I have a small insight, I think, into how those kind of actions that can now be taken with mobile phones being so available, enabling these images to be shared across phones, platforms, the internet. And that's why we must have this discussion now.
Would you like to see the laws include doctored images?
Well, look, I'm waiting to see what people have to say about that. It is an important part of what we're considering as part of this discussion paper. You know, at the heart of it, we know it can have a profound impact on that person's emotional well-being, their future.
It's that future Noelle Martin is now taking control of. She's sharing her story so that future employers will see more than just a doctored image. They'll see her resilience and courage.
I've worked really hard at uni, you know, working, doing internships, studying hard. I have my life ahead of me, and to have someone or a number of people think they're entitled to do whatever they want with images they find, ordinary images, and just can completely destroy someone. I mean, it's just horrendous.